multiple textures with Udim painted in Mari, and then having fur and hair, depth of field, and all that kind of stuff. But the render time stays below 2 minutes per frame.
That sounds like a dream. Coming through.
Yeah. Especially when you're doing look development.
Yeah, you don't want to wait. Yes. God, these vlogs are very samey.
Listening to Spotify while you do whatever it is.
So, have you played any cool game?
It makes sense to promote your business here.
So a colleague of mine led me VR headset, the Quest, and I've been playing Alex a bit.
Oh,
Have you played that?
no, but I've seen many videos and I know people who have played, and it's so cool.
That's cool. Obviously, I think they kept their promises with the cool thing. I just think that I'm not very used to VR yet. Like, it's still hard. Have you played Libra?
Alex?
Yeah.
Unfortunately not. I don't have a VR set. But I really want to play.
Well, with that setup that you have, you can definitely...
Yeah, I should be able to get a Quest 2 soon. At least a Quest 2. I know it's not the best model, but at least, better than nothing, right?
It's good. I find it nice because you got free mobility. I mean, if you're playing games like Alex, you need to have the cable or having a very full Wi-Fi. But apart from that, I think it's good.
I mean, as long as I get to play the game, I'm good with that.
Some Bosnia trick. Yeah. It was a pillar to shot. I just rotated and extended.
Yeah. But this is the cool thing. Try to add as much detail as possible with the same asset, which is cheaper in the long run, rather than like designing overcomplicated assets.
And the more reusable they are, the better.
Yeah, the way also, if you need to make a small edit, if you have different modular pieces, you can just like move stuff around. Meanwhile, imagine having like this structure made like as a single piece.
Yeah.
And you need to edit it every time. I mean, sometimes you need to do very bespoke structures. The mission we work on, like the Space Administration HQ, the interiors have very bespoke module modeling going on, like Leo model all of them. He knows that.
Yeah, I still have nightmares. Still have nightmares. But yeah, I think that was a nice experience. That I learned not to do curved environments in games.
Yeah, it's not something that... It's not something that I like. Yeah, it wasn't easy. Also because we have rigorous requirements for distraction setup and the lighting setup as well.
Yeah.
The way Snowdrop works, we didn't have like light maps. We have real-time GI solution, but that requires a specific technical setup for the scene.
So I have a question for you both. Maybe Libra, you are the right one to answer. We are facing some issue with in Unreal, but maybe it's a common question shared between each engine. So the wall thickness we are making, we have some interiors, we have interior rooms, and then the player will be able to go outside. So we have light maps on the inside, and we have real-time.
You have pro-based GI.
Yeah, exactly. And we have some issue with the probes when we have some dynamic prop near to the wall, especially to the props near the wall that go outside. So we have these props that taking the light from outside, making the interior props too bright. So we spoken with the Epic guys. We have a direct line asking for question and some issue, and they told us that we need to make the wall thicker.
At least 30 centimeters.
At least, but we have at least 30 centimeters. They told us they need at least 2 cell sides, which means at least couple
basically
couple
the
of
problem
meters.
is when you do like pro-based GI, probes are on a grid, and the resolution is extremely low, and the only workaround is having larger transition spaces and thicker walls. But even with thick walls, you won't be able to fix the problem if your interior is slanted. For slanted, I mean, is off the grid. It's not like a perfect line on the grid. Because that's where you're going to have the most issues with the GI. Transitioning indoor-outdoor with GI is a big problem with all render engines.
Yeah. So any workaround? Except making the wall thicker, because we are really close to the end and we cannot rearrange all the rooms, making the wall thicker. We are now thinking of rearranging the layout of the room. So
we had a lot of time. We had like to do crazy stuff like building dog legs to improve the transition, or we have other tools that mitigate the issue, such as transitional probes. We call them room data and portal data, which basically ignore the probes between one room to the other, except the one sitting on the transitional area for blending the GI. But that works well when you're only using a fully real-time system.
Yeah, I know.
With mixed, I don't know, man. Did you try making only real-time? I mean,
we have a guy who basically stay on this task for a week or so, trying to figure out how to make everything works, but seems pretty.
So if you make the entire room as the dynamic instead of static, does it look bad?
For now, we are now thinking of rearranging the props that giving us issue and moving them to the inner walls, so they don't get these probes from the outside. And now I think we are moving around the problem. But so I was asking if you usually do, when start studying a building, for example, you have a fixed wall size to maintain to avoid this kind of issue. But as already Leo answered, at least 30 centimeters, right?
Yeah, and also, unfortunately, you have to try to avoid to put assets on the transitional area, especially dynamic ones, because that's where you're going to have the most issue with them. Like if it's like something that you can't avoid because maybe the asset's a door or it's a gate or whatever. I really need to see the problem because this is very. There are, transitions. are always like a problem, and you waste a lot of time improving that. And there is depends on case, and sometimes like you can follow the metrics perfectly within the limitations, but you're still not
broken.
getting. It's still broken, and it still doesn't look good. So
that's the best part, Marlo.
Yeah.
That's the best part always.
When you follow the guidelines and then it's still not working. Like, hell.
If I have to be honest, I'm not a fan of light maps. I prefer real-time solutions, even though if the quality is worse. But you can kind of get away if the level art is done well.
Yeah.
Some passive-aggressive things here, Libra.
That's just me. I mean, for open world games, you can't honestly have light maps. I mean, what are you gonna do if you have, I don't know, Washington DC as map, and you want to rebake? You need to rebake all the interiors every time, and that's not feasible.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And this is why all companies are moving to a real-time GI solution for their engines.
Exactly.
And with Unreal is the same.
Yeah, with the real-time lighting, you literally turn off the sun.
Well, we actually have to turn off the sun in some areas in Division 2 to avoid bleeding or crazy stuff. And I'm pretty sure that it's not just us that did that. A lot of others have to do that in other games. Because that's it. I mean, you have these probes for the GI and everything, but they are sitting on a grid, and the space in between probes can be very large to preserve memory. And you're building maybe in an angle, so you have a lot of areas that are not covered, or they are like taking information on outside and inside probe, even if you have restriction in place. The blending will not be good for that reason.
Yeah, I just rotate the structure and I think it works much better. You see the stream? You're coming from this corner, you're like, you'll have that thing already leading you there, which is where you have to go with these small little lines. And you go steps, the door. I feel that it's very readable. No! It's the door! No!
There's also that small, there's a 2-step ladder.
In the
tiny, and this one that doesn't connect well with the floor.
This one. Yeah, so the reason why I kept, not that one, but... Oh no, how can I go up? I wonder if lighting will be baked outside here. Who knows? The reason why I kept like a bit separate is because you see the gap there that we get there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to have like that negative space there. So I'm like, all right, let me see if that works, and the player moves easily through. It's just that one that it I think it's too tall, so you get stuck. I mean, if that's too tall, then here you got a cover. And you jump here. One thing that I think it's covering, but it's those railings, so you don't see the second pair of stairs, and the fact that the steps are the same high as your eye. It's kind of good. And for
can you inside the terrain there?
Can I have terrain there?
No, be on the back. There was like a hole on the terrain. Yeah,
that one here.
On the actual slope before. It's a bit hard to point out because there's a lot of delay.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to play something there. Because otherwise I have the terrain inside. I feel like it's like when we have meeting in team that you got a bit of delay and you tell, oh, look left, and the guy look left, and then no, right, and then I feel like it's a similar experience as when we work. What is this?
Also, one thing that here that you are skipping mostly, or you have very limited, you don't need to do much, is like collisions and a mesh, which is mostly automatic for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think this works. What do you think?
No matter how big or small
angle like that,
making your own ad on Spotify Ad Studio is as easy as
then you go either. I need to remove this railing. Sure. You have a cover here you can take, and then you can go up.
And produce it at no extra cost.
I can go that way. I might level the terrain to this point, so we can have parked car and stuff. Yeah. Remove that. I need to find a solution to how to change the terrain without moving all the objects. So annoying. And here I'm thinking to put a ladder there, just to add an extra way up, and same from here. Wanna add a ladder that connects these two. Cool. Maybe I will submit this map so everyone can play it, but usually it's the level designer that makes the map fun, so maybe it's not gonna be the most fun map to play game with, but we'll see. See, I can easily submit.
Are you usually creating when not when blocking out a level, but when just for production, as a production stage, you separate each component on a sort of sub-level, or for example, all the interior on a sub-level, all the exterior in another one, or you just place the asset in the same shared level?
No, usually we have we have layers, and layers allows us to work simultaneously on the same area, as well as keeping things organized. Here, I don't think there are layers. That's what you meant.
But are those standard, or you can create on your own?
We can create. As many as we want. As many as we want.
You don't have rappels in Far Cry, right? Just ladders.
What?
Rappelling cords. You remember?
I think we do. In fact, I'm gonna place one like up here, like a grapple or something, to give plenty of options. Will this work? No, will not work. It's red. It's too short. So this is so this is one. This one taller. Okay. Is it taller? Yes. Oh, actually, let me. Okay. Perfect. Oh. Okay. And then we need a
So are you using, anyone of you is using Substance Painter?
Yes.
How cool is the geometry mask?
Yeah, it's very cool.
Really cool. I was usually creating my mask system on my own by selecting every triangle in the mesh, but that's really a cooler way. It's really, really cool.
I basically stopped using Mari after learning Painter.
Huh? That's really cool.
But they still use Matbox.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you are used to, or
because he has because they still using PTEX, so you can transfer easily painted textures on other model regardless of topology or UVs.
Are Autodesk is still developing Matbox, or are you using older version?
No, they migrated most of the tools inside Maya, like the sculpting tools that are mostly integrated. The other are sort of Dynamesh system, but it's not as good as Dynamesh, obviously.
Okay.
And everything else is still the same. So, I mean, I think Matbox still has its uses for blend shapes, transferring textures, and doing mirror painting fixes because it has a proper mirror paint functionality. I mean, now other software catched up, but for years, Matbox was the only one that could do mirror painting properly. But yeah, they just like doing basic support right now. But yeah, I'm still using it.
Cool.
Can't find how to.
Like,
sorry.
I use it also when I need to transfer. I don't know if you're familiar with texture XYZ.
Yeah, I have used once or two, I think, but yes.
Yeah, the Matbox is not bad for if you need to project that stuff on a model with a stencil tool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You should send a message to Licho and tell him to come here.
Yeah.
Oh shit. No. Oh wait.
Licho is Pietro Licini. He's a character modeler, double negative.
It's not character model anymore. It's like a paperwork guy.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get lead role, you do meetings and spreadsheets. You don't do models. Same as Ubisoft, I guess.
Yeah, it depends how entry level you are. If you're at the beginning, I think they still allow you to do something. That's cool. You can rappel down this thing, silly bro.
Let's see. Well, I mean, You know the terrace that you made with the concrete planes? They have like metal bars under, and they are like overlapping.
What?
With the angled ones, like
Those
this.
ones? Ah, yeah, that.
Yeah, you see on the corner.
Yeah, I need to lower one a bit. Like here, I lower like by 1 centimeter, so that you don't see flickering, and then I'll try to mask it. But I like that you can jump here and then no. You can do that jump around. Yeah. Isn't that cool? Like you get that, and then you're like, and you're swinging. Yeah. So cool. Anyway. Okay, so now I'm focusing too much on the details. I think I should be figure out what's the layout here. Should I put this away? I wanna disable the autos now. Present orientation. Keep object with terrain. Ah, yes. I might have found it. I might have found it. Let's see. Yes. Yes. Ah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now I can maybe fix it. That was already kind of fixed. Oh god, what's this? You need to tell something to Ale. London. Tell him that he's playing too much games.
Ale, yeah.
Look at you, listening to
I think you start doing polls for which next game you should analyze
exactly why it makes sense
to get the public more engaged. No?
Yeah, create a poll.
Whether you have two
I
employees,
think
Leo,
we
you
usually
should
ask
try
people
some.
as narrow of an audience as
What?
you need.
I think you should try some
Where visual media
more.
And now that Crash 4 has been released for PC, I think you should have a game on the list.
Yeah, I mean, you need to maybe change from FPS, always FPS, and try to analyze third person,
Yeah, we
or
were
maybe
trying to analyze Sekiro.
Sekiro. You know what you should try to analyze from a level design point of view.
The Division?
Nope. It's an old game. Oh, well, relative old. Maybe it's almost 10 years now.
Half-Life?
Nope. Third person action RPG. With an amazing level design.
Third person, right? So it's not Dishonored.
Yeah, third person. Dishonored is a masterpiece, but this is, I think, is another masterpiece.
Gears of War?
Guess what? Guess what?
Says action RPG, Gears of War.
Action RPG.
What is that? Sure.
The same dev, same dev from Sekiro.
Ah, really? So yeah, about Sekiro, Porto wasn't really. Was funny because he was playing and I think he died like 18 times in an hour.
Yeah.
And eventually he uninstalled it. So I don't know if he enjoyed it.
Yeah. So the game I was talking about is
Bloodborne.
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
How fast is the level progression in the first hour of the game?
Well, I think it's well, the first hour is I think you play in the first tutorial area in around 20 minutes or so, and then you are in a sort of open world, so you are able to go in many places. And then depends on where you go and and how good is at playing at that level. Because you can do like Sekiro and die multiple times only to reach an area.
Hello, Metram. So this is a Far Cry editor that allows you to build map, and I'm using that just to show a bit the people of this channel the thinking process of making a location. And with us we have Lorenzo Conticciali and Roberto Di Balato, two of good friends that I have, and you know, the only two. Not the only two, but you know, two good ones. And
the rest is
chatting about. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Roberto is specialized in lighting, post-process, making things nice, and Lorenzo is more like a generalist, but is very like a solid generalist because he knows a lot of things about rigging, about modeling, about making things nice too.
Exactly. Well, for the moment, I'm working especially on environment and animation as well. So I'm splitting my time.
I increase a bit the gain of my mic. Maybe now it's up. We'll see.
Yeah.
Like annoyingly louder? Shall I turn down their volume?
I mean, my volume is standard on Discord. Depends on the volume you have on your Discord settings.
Mine is standard too, I think.
Let me check.
So I'm gonna leave 100. But then you sound...
Yeah, I think you have to check your Discord settings here.
Alright, so let me do some changes here. I think also OBS is... Okay, let's try now. Let's see if you guys try to talk a bit.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Is that better, Metro?
Test.
We'll see. A bit better. Okay. I can lower more the volume. I need to remember to get back the same volumes when we do the live, because otherwise it's gonna be messy. There you go. You still sound quiet. What the hell? Maybe I'm just talking quiet. The gain of my microphone is at the top now. Let's see if that's better. So what's up, Marco? Why you... Metro, sorry. What's up, Metro? Are you a game dev?
Or an aspiring one?
Yes. Currently making something in... wait. Sip. I need to get some water if I need a sip. I'll be right back. I'll let Lollo, aka Lorenzo, and Libra
Speak.
speak.
So Metro, what engine are you using? Tell us, no problem. Libra is working for Unity and I am outsource. Okay, cool. So are you working in a indie game studio? Are you working on your own, on your game, or?
You work with Source. Nice. Are you doing like custom maps for other games?
Sounds cool.
Yeah, Source is still very relevant. I mean, Apex is done in Source, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe the Alex 2 is still made on Source.
Yeah.
And I've seen really cool stuff made using the Source. Some cool tools and feature.
I mean, Source lost a little bit of visibility because, there's no Half-Life 3 announced just yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure the moment they announce a game like that, Source will become very relevant once again.
So you believe in Half-Life 3?
Of course, I believe in Half-Life 3.
Or are you hoping for Half-Life 3?
Let's say I believe.
Yeah.
But to me, Half-Life 2 was that game that was like the most groundbreaking visually and from like technical features.
Yeah, I think
when I watched those tech demos and then I compare what you had at the same time, it was just like mind blowing.
And if you think about it, Alex did the same for the niche market as the VR, but did pretty the same. It's the groundbreaking, the game changing for the VR apps, I think.
But also like Valve has insane art direction. Like all their games have like perfect art direction.
Have you guys heard anything about Valve in terms of studio? Because Borto told me that it's not super good in terms of how you work there. Is it?
About Valve?
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Libra, have you heard something?
About what?
Like working condition at Valve?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I actually have a colleague in Unity that works at Valve. I can ask him.
Which studio?
One of my colleagues used to work at Valve, so I can ask him.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. You know what you should do, Lollo? You should share Marta is Dead. Start to have like live stream just to get some marketing before the launch.
Yeah, I need to ask to our publisher.
All right.
Launch.
But maybe in the maybe in the near future we can book a meeting or something like that. We can showcase Marta after the launch. After the launch, obviously. So after that, obviously, for sure. And maybe
how complete is the game, by the way?
Complete game, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how complete is right now the project in percentage?
At the moment, we are close to the end. We are closing the alpha stage of the game. So I think in a couple of weeks, less a month, we are going to starting the beta.
Cool.
Yeah, we are close to the end, finally. We have all the VO to do, we have translation, we have to play test, bug checking and everything, but we are close to finish adding everything to the game.
I'm looking forward to play that.
I hope you will enjoy. If enjoy is the right one for a game like Marta. But you can make cool photos.
Yeah, you had the photo mode with that vintage.
Yeah, basically it's built in the story. Your father is a German photographer for the Nazi army, and so you have lots of camera and a red room in your home, and you are passionate about photography. So basically you have to go around and shoot some photos and then develop as the old school way to develop photos. So you have to choose the right one, use an enlarger, then make the fixing, and then you start seeing the photo popping out, and it's pretty cool.
That sounds good, yeah. And so every time in the game you can take that and take some pictures with that older technology, and every time you go through the process of
No, it's built in the gameplay. You have to, for the story to advance in the story. Sometimes you have to go and shoot something
What you want your ad to say and
about
pick out your
yourself,
music.
about what you
We'll
see,
voice introduce it
and
at no extra cost.
in
Reach
other
Spotify
part
listeners
of the
based
game
on
you
their
are
interests,
able
demographics,
to
music
just go
tastes,
around
and
and
more.
shoot whatever you
3.
want, and
Set
then
your budget,
if
set your
you
dates,
reach
and you're done.
the dark
Try
room,
it today at
you can develop your own photos.
adstudio.spotify.com
Oh,
or
that's
tap the
cool.
banner to learn more.
Yeah.
If you reach, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
Basically,
not a sure
we have.
thing.
Yeah, basically we have the first 3 chapters, which are pretty straightforward in the story, but then when you reach the 4th chapter, you are able to go around and move more freely and shoot whatever you want. Obviously, you have to shoot something to proceed in the narrative of the game to move on. But I have spoiled too much, maybe, for now.
That's cool. So I like you actually took pictures and then you have to go through the same process as they were going through.
Yeah, you try to recreate a sort of, it's not a complete simulative approach of the way you used to develop photo. We take some game artistic approach to the stages. You need to develop photos. For example, I don't know, Leo, if you ever develop a photo in the traditional way. So
yeah,
you
that
have
was at school. Like you go in those rooms that are either black or red, and you just put them in liquid. I don't remember which liquid right now, but
exactly. So you first have to develop the films, and then use the films in the enlarger, and then the enlarger will project your photo on the paper, and then you move the paper to the fixing, and then you see your photo. So we take some cuts during this process because for developing a photo you can stay there for 5 or 10 minutes. So we need to make it more usable, and so
makes sense. Did you guys went to check out photographers to check how they were? Like, did you guys try before doing the gameplay? You went like to a photographers and you tried out, or you just learn with videos and things?
No, we basically we know how to develop a photo because we already have developed photos, everyone in your own, but then we have lots of the camera and accessories we own in the studio. So
I see. Yeah.
we shoot reference for how to handle the camera or how the camera moves, and what you see when you see in the camera, because older camera are not reflex like we see today, so they don't have an internal mirror that reflects the image. So at the moment when you see
they have like the aiming which is slightly offset.
Exactly, and it's mirrored from what you see. So if you see something on the left in the real, if you have an object on the left, you see through the camera on the right.
Yeah, what's the name of those cameras? The one that has the
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name.
Oh my god, I've heard it so many times, that name. I can't remember right now.
The Rolleicord?
No. It's the name to define those cameras that, as you say, have the way when you aim for the camera, that is not the same, that doesn't go through the lens, but it's just
I don't know the name for that camera. I know that the upgraded version is called reflex, as you know, because it reflects the image because they have an internal mirror that reflects.
Yeah, but the one without internal mirror.
I don't remember.
It was like the codec fan. You remember it?
I don't remember.
So for the stream here, I create a ramp here. See how cool that is? So you can go up the stairs, go on top of the ramp, or take cover here. 3 kills with 1 stone. Let's see if this works.
I think in Italian we're called like visione diretta, that kind of style, which means direct vision.
Yeah,
I don't know the name in English though. The aim was called like Galilean aim.
Maybe they're called mirrorless?
Yeah, but mirrorless are
modern.
Are modern one, which use the same type of reflection as the reflex, but they don't have the mirror inside, so they are thinner than the reflex version.
Isn't Leica a brand that was making those cameras?
Yeah, Leica is a pretty huge brand in making cameras. They're still making good cameras.
But Leica made the camera I was trying to describe.
Yeah.
And then also you, in the 90s, you had the single-use cameras like the Kodak Fan and the Polaroid.
Rangefinder? I'm looking at images if you look at the stream here, and I think that's the camera that we're talking about, where we have a hole for the eye, but it's not. It's a bit offset from the whole of the photos.
I don't see the stream is lagging, so I don't see it yet. Oh, now I see it.
Oh my god, so delayed.
Let's see what.
Look for Raleigh cord.
Raleigh cord?
Raleigh cord.
Is that a brand? Ah, yeah. That's the one that I saw in the trailer. You guys
exactly.
It's pretty neat prop to model.
Do you know who made the model?
Who made it? You made it?
No.
Was that the model that I made? No. No, who made it? I remember that I made a sort of camera at some point for Town of Light.
No. Yeah, but we are trying to reuse maybe in other versions.
The English term for those cameras is viewfinder camera. Like the
viewfinder. Giacomo made the camera model.
Nice.
Yep. He worked with us for 2 or 3 months, I don't remember. And during this month,
and then he rage quit.
No, he moved to another studio, and he also moved from games. He now works at I don't know if you know Libra, Maga Animation Studio in Monza.
Yes. Yeah,
he worked there I think 3 years now, and they're doing cool stuff, really cool things.
Mag Animation does cinematic service for Ubisoft for a while now.
Yeah,
They did the cinematics for Mario.
In fact, Giacomo worked on Mario at Ubisoft Milan, and then after that he moved to Maga. So basically, he already knows the brands and how to work with.
Are you still in touch with him?
Yeah, sometimes because I don't know if it's secret or not, but they are now experimenting with Unreal Engine. So for some, animation more related things, and also game trailers. So they are experimenting and trying to build a pipeline with Unreal and for real-time animation. And sometimes he asks me something about the engine and how to work with.
That's cool. Yeah, now Lolo, you are my go-to person if I have a question about Unreal. Just so you know.
Obviously.
So expect when I start to do more like personal projects and things that I'm gonna ask you a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure.
So are we making a cave here or no? What do you guys think?
A cave?
A cave that then connects to this part.
Yeah, you got some secret there.
Some secret loots.
Like me and Leo put a lot of secret in our games. Most of them have never been found.
Yeah, it's funny.
Just recently they discovered on the Division 2 that you can spawn a T-Rex. And yeah, maybe it was me, I don't know.
Yeah, we put a lot of effort in adding Easter eggs, which I think what makes an open world game interesting from a player point of view. They kind of explore and find all these little secrets and feel like more motivated to explore. More motivated than getting presented secrets or something. So the location is expanding a bit. Alright, now I'm gonna make...
With intelligent active noise cancellation on the new Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro, block out the ordinary and escape into extraordinary sound quality as you feel every beat. And when it's time to connect, be confident you're heard with crystal clear calls. Hey there. The new Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro wireless earbuds. Click or tap to elevate the everyday with epic sound.
Some guy called Peter managed to jump a skipping rope over 12,000 times in an hour. Really, it's a world record. We looked it up. Well, we think he'd like Spotify Premium. Instead of just 6 skips an hour, Premium gives you unlimited skips. So you can jump between tracks as much as you like. Learn more about Premium when you tap the banner. Go on, do it for Peter.
Cool, we got around there, we got around there. Plenty of ways to approach this space. I'm surprised how robust this editor is. Like, it has never crashed in 6 hours of work.
Have you ever saved, by the way?
Yeah, I saved from time to time to save it. Surprised? Really surprised.
Yeah, production software can be very unstable. Mostly because you get to use like an updated build that improves as the project goes forward. And on very large games, it's normal that sometimes stuff breaks.
Yeah, sometimes, eh?